When I walked into the quaint little thrift store, I had no idea my life was about to change forever. Tucked away in a dusty corner, I found an antique mirror. Its frame was ornate with intricate carvings of twisting vines and flowers, tarnished by age. There was something captivating about it, a sense of history that I couldn't resist. Without hesitation, I bought the mirror and brought it home, eager to add a touch of vintage charm to my bedroom. That night, as I hung the mirror on the wall, I felt a strange chill in the air. I dismissed it as a draft and went to bed, admiring how the mirror reflected the moonlight streaming in through my window. But as the hours passed and I drifted off to sleep, an unsettling feeling crept over me. The first incident happened just after midnight. I woke up thirsty and headed to the kitchen for a glass of water. As I walked past the mirror, I glanced at my reflection and froze. Behind me, in the dim light, stood a shadowy figure. My heart raced and I spun around, only to find the room empty. Trembling, I told myself it was just my imagination playing tricks on me and went back to bed. But sleep eluded me. The following days brought more strange occurrences. The mirror would fog up with handprints, even though the room was cool and dry. At night, I would hear faint whispers emanating from it, unintelligible but undeniably there. Objects in my room seemed to move on their own. My hairbrush found on the floor, books toppled over on my desk. My unease grew with each passing day. Determined to understand what was happening, I began researching the mirror's origins. I scoured the internet and old library archives until I stumbled upon a chilling story. Decades ago, the mirror had belonged to a woman named Eliza Blackwood, a reputed practitioner of dark magic. Legend had it that Eliza had trapped spirits inside the mirror as part of her rituals. After her mysterious death, the mirror changed hands numerous times, each owner reporting strange and terrifying events. Armed with this knowledge, I decided I had to get rid of the mirror. I took it down and placed it outside, but the next morning, it was back on my wall as if it had never been moved. Panic set in as I realized the mirror was bound to me, refusing to let me go. That night I resolved to end the curse once and for all. I stood in front of the mirror, clutching a hammer tightly. My reflection stared back at me, but this time I wasn't alone. The shadowy figure appeared again, clearer now, a woman with hollow eyes and a twisted smile. My heart pounded in my chest, but I knew I had to act. With a deep breath, I raised the hammer and brought it down on the mirror. The glass shattered with a deafening crash, shards flying everywhere. For a moment I stood there, panting, surrounded by broken glass. The room was silent, and I felt a strange sense of relief. But then I heard a whisper, louder than before. I looked down and saw the pieces of the mirror beginning to move, rearranging themselves. The woman's twisted smile appeared in the shards, her hollow eyes staring up at me from the floor. I backed away, my mind racing. I had broken the mirror, but the curse wasn't lifted. If anything, it seemed angrier. As the whispers grew louder, I realized that destroying the mirror wasn't enough. The spirits trapped inside needed to be freed. Gathering my courage, I grabbed the largest shard and held it up to my face. "Eliza Blackwood," I whispered, "I release you. Be free and leave me in peace." The whispers stopped abruptly. The room grew colder, and the shards of the mirror seemed to dissolve